What's up, everybody? Welcome to MTGB LLC. So today we're gonna be talking about these Hollywood tariffs, film tariffs. We talking about the Trump administration today. Shout out to everybody in the building and everybody on the replay. Please drop down in the comments and let me know who's here. Shout out to everybody in the building. Let's turn that down. How you doing, Lisa?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on today.
Yes, what a pleasant surprise over here. So, man, let's talk about these headlines today. Okay, so I'm looking at right now Trump film tariffs. What next? What's next for Hollywood and beyond? Hollywood reacts to Trump's movie tariff ideas. They're confused. It's like it just all happened all of a sudden and nobody knows. It's like it happened out of nowhere.
Just like everything else.
Oh my God. You got a point there. So one thing I always say, man, I'm not heavily into politics, but I am in America, right? And we are all a part of this, whether we voted him in or not, or whoever you voted for. So we are keeping track of what's going on in the world. And so if that is you, we cover politics over here. If that is you and Lisa, she covers stocks and trades. How would you describe what you cover on your channel?
Investing, staying out of debt, all things budgeting, everything money related.
Yes. Okay. So it's definitely at the top of her list. So what about this got you going? I mean, when you first seen the headlines, movie tariffs, what were you thinking?
Well, I was thinking about my Disney stock that's already been struggling for some time now, but Netflix and other big names, it's all gonna trickle down. And these Netflix is a significant, uh Fortune 500 company. But you have to think about the big picture of where all this is going to lead to in the impact. And I know the goal. I know the overall goal is to, bring everything back to America and make America thrive. But we've been living a certain way. We've been doing certain things. This is even going to impact like international sports potentially, because like the NFL games, this is going to just make so much challenges with broadcasting and production in foreign markets that just didn't exist because these things are just coming up on us suddenly,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see that he has something going on with the NFL. I think I saw that. I seen it. It's something that he just spoke on, but I'm not sure what's going on with that.
So these companies, their revenue streams get impacted, and whether it's the NFL league or the local stores, Timu and all these different things, uh, whoever's impacted financially, they're going to pass the cost on to us. And of course, we're going to see when there's uncertainty, all which is going to happen because these things are coming on so suddenly. When there's uncertainty when it comes to the stock market, uh, the stocks decline until people feel more confident. So it's just been an ongoing thing, especially since the beginning of April. But it's been a rocky road since January, since he took office.
That's what I was going to ask you. I wanted to ask you that. I want to talk to the chat for a minute. I see we got a couple people in. Welcome in, Team Deep Water Cultivating. Thank you for coming in. Happy Tuesday to you. And happy Tuesday to you, Selling Cook George. And everybody else that's in the bushes. Y'all, please drop down in the bushes, from the bushes, smack the thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel if you have not. Yes, good morning to everybody. Okay, so I wanted to ask you, what changes have you seen since he's been in office? What was the biggest change that you've seen with your investments, or anything you want to share,
With my investments,
or trade, or you know?
oh, my investments have been significantly down, and I've been sharing because, and I'm going to continue to share my updates on the things that I have been sharing all along. Just because the economy is has pulled back, don't think that I'm not going to talk about my FXAIX anymore. If I've been given regular updates, I'm going to stick to what I've been sharing because this is a part of investing. We are going through something different now with these tariffs and this administration and these changes. But whether it's this or COVID or back in 2008 with the stock market and the real estate market, the things that have occurred in the past, whatever it is, we have to be ready for it. And this is something different that there's no history to reflect back on how we're going to make it through this. But investing is a way of building wealth. It is the way for us to plan for retirement. It is the way for us to, plan for our children, our grandchildren's college education. So I don't want anyone to be turned off to investing, even when we have to deal with these tough times. In time, it will recover. This is this administration. This is this 4 years, but I'm a long-term investor, and I just have to keep my mind focused on the long-term potential and just keep on going on the path that I have, the plans, that I have already put into place, just sticking with them.
Exactly. I mean, and we don't stop, we just adjust. It's like you got to stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. And so that's why we are paying attention to what's going on today. And so I want to pull up this video to talk up to see what they're talking about concerning trade and what's going on in the movie industry.
Okay.
Morning, President Trump is hosting the Prime Minister of Canada for high-stakes meetings with trade expected to be a big focus.
CBS News' Naomi Ruckin reports the president threatened new tariffs that insiders say could stifle the movie industry.
Today at the White House, President Trump meets for the first time with Canada's new Prime Minister, Mark Carney, amid his growing trade war.
I guess he wants to make a deal. Everybody does.
I will fight for the best deal for Canada.
Then there's the president's new threat to impose 100% tariffs on movies made outside of the U.S.
I'm not looking to hurt the industry. I want to help the industry.
White House officials say no final decisions have been made, but the announcement stunned Hollywood.
Everybody's very afraid, that's for sure. Everybody's very worried.
Also Monday, the Trump administration announced a program offering $1,000 and free airline tickets to undocumented migrants who want to voluntarily leave the U.S.
If you leave on your own, you can take advantage of legal programs, come back.
Meanwhile, the Trump administration has upped its battle with Harvard University, cutting off new federal research grants unless the Ivy League school meets its demands. Harvard sued the federal government over a previous funding freeze. In a statement, Harvard said the administration's terms would impose unprecedented and improper control over the university. Naomi Ruckin, CBS News.
Okay, so it's a lot in the headlines. Hold on, let me go ahead. What stood out to
the White House?
Something else that I just saw recently, I didn't pull notes on it, but even like PBS channel. PBS, like the where you watch Sesame
like
Street and all those like those type of, he's just going after everybody with these tariffs. I hadn't heard this thing about Harvard University, but it just seems like it seems like no one is safe from as they say, they're using these threats, the word of threat. It doesn't even sound appropriate, but it just seems like these tariffs are trickling down to everything. So
yeah, I mean, it's trickling down to everything and everyone. And I mean, we don't even know completely how it's going to affect us. Like, a lot of people are thinking, oh, if I buy a car or something, it'll affect me because of the prices going up. And but no, everything, everyday stuff we're affected by. Good morning. Shout out to the everyday life of OCD is Chick and that boy Roy. Welcome in. Good morning to ATM. Thank y'all for dropping down in the chat. And welcome in, CC.
Mhm.
Y'all please smack the thumbs up for Lisa and for me on my side over here too. Thank y'all for tuning in. Go ahead, Lisa.
I was going to say, a couple weeks ago, well, it's probably early April. I'm driving on the highway, and here goes a big old billboard saying, from the car dealership saying, "Get in here before the tariffs." And
Oh,
I'm like, really, really? But
yeah.
I heard
My
someone.
car contacted me too. We got a great deal for you. No, no,
Mhm,
thank you.
mhm.
Go ahead.
I was watching someone's live a few weeks ago, and they said that they actually walked into a dealer just to ask a salesman a quick question of, has there been like a big influx of people trying to get in here sooner? And he said yes. And he said yes, a significant percentage of people have come in over these last few days outside of their normal traffic trying to beat the tariffs. So
Wow.
yeah, I did a live a few weeks ago about the tariffs, and I said, yeah, if there is something that you need, buy it sooner than later if you can,
I felt
because
like it was already too late once
Mhm.
they announced it. Go ahead, finish your thought.
No, I mean, while the things are still in stock at the stores, just if there's a bigger purchase that you need. So,
Right. But I'm saying, like, with the companies already knowing that the tariffs are coming and the stock
mhm.
that they already have, they can start getting the tariff money early. Like, why would they give deals? I don't know. I just feel like once they're announced, everybody can go up immediately. But I'm not sure how that works. I just
Yeah.
know it's some price gouging.
Well, we had a little chance, like with Temu and Shein. They gave us a date as to when their prices were going to increase. So
Oh,
I'm saying this was a few weeks ago,
okay.
in March, April. If there's something, especially if it's something substantial that you need, try to get it done now. But not everyone's budget and planning is going to be able to do that. But I just wanted to give the encouragement. I really didn't need anything significant, but I just wanted to say to have your eyes open to it. There's still a little time on certain things because, like I said, while it's still in stock and here, I would jump on doing those larger purchases if needed. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense before everything go up sky high.
Yeah.
So so I wanted to get into what brought on these movie tariffs. Where did this idea even come from? I mean, because it's like a lot of these things seem like they just come out the blue. So I find out he had a meeting with this guy. He's played in many movies before. He must have turned them on to some information. And right after he left, this is when all of this stuff happened. So his name is John Voight. I think that's how you pronounce his name.
Mhm.
So it says here, and I'm reading from CNBC. Says the headline says Trump John Voight meeting led to the Hollywood tariff proposal. So his manager says this. And so the actor John Voight and his manager submitted a proposal to President Donald Trump that included the idea of imposing tariffs on films produced outside of the U.S., the two men said on Monday. The idea just happened, and it just happened from Monday. What's today? Tuesday, okay? Shortly after the men met with Trump, the president announced Sunday that he was authorizing the Commerce Department and a U.S. Trade Representative to immediately begin processing and instituting 100% tariffs on any and all movies coming into our country that are produced in foreign lands. So Trump did not detail how those tariffs will be implemented. But his announcement on Truth Social sparked panic and confusion across Hollywood studios and streaming services. Streaming services, okay? So concerns about the potential tariffs briefly dragged down sale prices Monday for companies like Walt Disney and Netflix. Did you notice anything with that?
Yes, yeah, I definitely saw. I think Netflix fell by 4% at market open. Like I said, when
Wow.
uncertainty, this is what's going to happen. That we're not even sure what the impact may be. We're not sure, just like what happened with this 90-day pause that he put on 2 weeks back or so. We don't know that this is even going to happen, this 100% tariff. But because the announcement came out, this is where the impact was with Netflix and Warner Brothers and Disney. And like I said, the NFL, everyone, they're anticipating the challenges, and so it's going to impact the stock market.
I'm gonna
And
send you this article because I want you to see the information they got about Disney or you
Mhm.
do you have it put up already over there?
About Disney?
Disney, it just has like something in the article about
Okay.
Disney, and it was another one I can't even remember because I'm not looking at it.
No, I just took a look at some articles ahead of us meeting, but I don't really have anything in front of me. But
Okay, I
yeah,
just sent it to
just
the phone, or should I send it to IG?
it doesn't make a difference. I see it. I
Okay,
can take a look at
okay,
it. Um,
okay. So I'll go back to it.
but yeah, anxiety. There's going to be anxiety, and it's going to reflect with what's going on with these different companies. They're going to have to reassess their international production. Um, Whether what he decides to do sticks or not, it's putting everyone in this place where they're trying to rethink their strategies and just try to get ready to mitigate any potential financial impact. But I just feel like what I've seen happen over the last few weeks, you just don't know if they'll come to an agreement or something will change after all of this turmoil is thrown into the market. So,
Well, we know something is gonna change. It might not be in our favor, but something is
no,
definitely
it's
gonna
not
change.
going to be in our favor. We're already not going to the movies, but now,
Right.
a change like this, I'm reading here that analysts estimate that 100% tariff could significantly increase Netflix operating costs. So if Netflix has to produce the movie that they put on their platform and that's increasing, that
Yeah.
means they're going to want to increase our subscription. Like I'm saying, all the
Absolutely.
ways
Yeah.
that the costs trickle down to the consumer. And only time will tell if that happens, but this is what potentially these things could lead to. And for
Yeah.
Disney, a platform that's already been having their struggles in comparison to the bigger names like Netflix, that their subscription model has been doing better. Not to say, Disney has improved with the Disney Plus and the Hulu, but they're not doing as well as other platforms. So, and their earnings are coming up later on this week. And now this information coming out right ahead of earnings, it caused all of these different streaming services to pull back.
So when they make announcements like this, does the market just instantly drop? Like, what is it like today as a whole?
Uh, today,
I just
Today
wonder.
was pretty sideways with trading. I can pull them up right now, but I didn't like pull up these individual, Disney and these different companies. But I
Hmm.
was pretty much watching the SPY this morning because I was potentially going to do some trading. I wind up not doing any trading. But yeah, the market's been moving pretty sideways.
Good
So
morning,
Disney.
East Boogie and Tim A. Time to crack open the DVD collection. Okay. Okay. Go back to the old school. Like I'm telling you, everything old is better, right?
Yes,
Shout out
yeah.
to DJ Ryan. Welcome in, y'all. Thank y'all for dropping down. How you doing, Tuber Chat? Word up. M&T in the building. Shout out to T Beezy. Shout out to my sniper. Yes, y'all. Please like, share, and comment. Yes, hit those reactions. Welcome in. Happy Tuesday, everybody. So I'll finish reading this article. It says both Trump and the White House on Monday walked back the idea that tariffs were certain to be adopted. So Voit in a statement on Monday said, "What movie did he play in, y'all? Let me pull this guy back up. I'm bad with this kind of stuff because I don't watch TV, but I know I've seen this guy in a bunch of movies." It said, Voigt in a statement on Monday, "We look forward to working with the administration, the union, studios, and streamers to help form a plan to keep our industries healthy and bring more production back to America by creating the right environment through smart incentive, updated policies, and much needed support. We can ensure that American production companies thrive, more jobs stay here at home, and Hollywood once again leads." So they're basically saying that these foreign countries are like bribing folks to come over there and make films over there, and America is losing out. And Voight and his manager Steve Paul submitted a comprehensive plan to Trump about what changes need to be made to increase the domestic film production. Paul's company SP Global Media said on Monday. So the plan included federal tax incentives, significant changes to several tax codes, the establishment of co-production treaties with foreign countries, and I cannot say this, infrastructures, subsidies for theater owners, films and television production companies, and post-production companies. That's a whole bunch. So the proposal also included a focus on job training and tariffs in certain limited circumstances. So Voigt and another advisor also met in person with Trump. Okay, so following the uproar. Okay. Wait a minute now. Here we are with the tariffs. Hold on. So Trump said he would ask Hollywood studios if they're happy with his proposal to impose tariffs of 100% on films outside of the U.S. "I'm not looking to hurt the industry. I want to help the industry," he said.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at the article that you sent me over. I don't know who encouraged John Voight to bring this to
Right.
President Trump's attention, but President Trump and his team must have said, okay, this seems like a smart way to make money. So some movies that people might know him from are Anaconda, Heat, Rosewood, National Treasure, and Ali.
Anaconda, I'm sure. Like he seemed like he was like a commander and type guy in the movie that I've seen him in.
Yes.
Do you see what is it called? Mission
Impossible.
Okay.
Also, those are some big names as I'm looking through like his top 29 films. I think that people would know him from.
Now it was a chart, that article that I sent, like I think it's like the 6th paragraph. It has a chart. It says Disney and Netflix, and I looked at it. I'm like, this ain't my expertise. Maybe you could tell us what it means. But I just see 92.40. It just changed while I was looking at it. But what is that I'm looking at here? You see, did you click on it, or do you see what I'm talking about?
I don't see what you're talking about.
Oh,
but I'm trying to look on my phone. But yeah, okay. I'm not finding exactly what.
It's okay, because I want to pull this back up because it was another video that I wanted to play. Hold on.
Okay.
Let's see. Trump caused tariff. Let's play this one.
Another unexpected announcement from President Trump. This time he is imposing tariffs on movies made outside of the United States. He said over the weekend the U.S. film industry is dying, especially here in Hollywood. KTLA's Eric Spillman, live in the newsroom with how Hollywood is reacting to this. Eric, good morning.
Good morning, Frank. The movie studios and the streaming services are reacting by struggling to figure out exactly how this will affect their business. President Trump says he will slap a massive tariff on all films made overseas. It could have a huge impact on Hollywood.
This can't all be true.
The latest Mission Impossible film, The Final Reckoning, starring Tom Cruise, comes out in a few weeks. And like so many big-budget Hollywood movies these days, just about all of it was made outside the U.S. Filming was done in the United Kingdom, Norway, South Africa, Malta, and Italy. President Trump now says movies like that should be subject to a hefty tariff. He writes this on social media: The movie industry in America is dying a very fast death. I am authorizing the Commerce Department to impose a 100% tariff on all movies produced in foreign lands. It is true that for years, Hollywood productions have moved overseas to take advantage of tax incentives offered by other countries. Also, in many cases, costs are dramatically lower. The president calls this runaway foreign production a national security threat and blames Governor Newsom for it.
Other nations, a lot of them, have stolen our movie industry. And I'm saying, if they're not willing to make a movie inside the United States, then we should have a tariff on movies that come in.
What exactly would such a tariff mean? Would moviegoers pay higher ticket prices? Would streaming services increase their subscription fees because they use content produced outside the U.S.? At this point, that's not clear. We spoke via Zoom to Randy Greenberg. He's a former studio executive. He says the U.S. should offer tax breaks and other incentives to the studios instead of hitting them with a tariff.
So I love the idea of trying to keep, businesses here, keep people employed here. It's great. That's a great idea. But now we have to make it economically viable. I don't know that the tariffs are the way to go. A national incentive would be better.
Another idea from the president that's getting a lot of attention this morning. He says he wants to reopen the Alcatraz prison to house dangerous criminals. Alcatraz closed down more than 60 years ago because it was too expensive to operate. Its buildings were falling down. These days, the site is run by the National Park Service. It's a tourist attraction. The president says he wants to rebuild and expand the facility to house inmates again, which would require a massive investment. Alcatraz is on an island in the San Francisco Bay.
Man, what?
It's long been a symbol, Alcatraz, of whatever it is. I mean, it's a sad symbol, but it's a symbol of law and order. And, it's got quite a history, frankly. So I think we're going to do that.
Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, who represents San Francisco, says on social media that the president's proposal is not a serious one. Finally, yesterday, the president was interviewed on NBC's Meet the Press. He was asked questions about his deportation policy and whether every person on U.S. soil is entitled to due process. Due process is guaranteed by the Constitution, which the president took an oath to preserve, protect, and defend. But when asked about that, he said, "I don't know."
Your Secretary of State says everyone who's here, citizens and non-citizens, deserve due process. Do you agree, Mr. President?
I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know.
Well, the Fifth Amendment says
I don't know. It might say that, but if you're talking about that, then we'd have to have 1 million or 2 million or 3 million trials.
Don't you need to uphold the Constitution of the United States as president?
I don't know. I have to respond by saying again, I have brilliant lawyers that work for me, and they are going to obviously follow what the Supreme Court said.
New this morning, another development to tell you about. The Trump administration says it will pay undocumented immigrants $1,000 if they return voluntarily to their home countries.
Listen, out of everything, that scares me. That whole Constitution thing. What was you just thinking? Oh my God.
Oh, that was a lot of information right there. They touched on what I said earlier about the potential of the streaming services fees going up. We've already shifted, like I said, from going to the movie theater, and now he's trying to take our Netflix away from us or increase potentially. And I saw in the chat that Tim was saying, if you look at the closing credits,
your mic is going in and out, Lisa. I'm not sure.
Oh, it is?
Yeah,
Can you hear me now?
I hear you now.
Okay. I saw in the comments that Tim was saying that if you look at the closing credits, you'll see that a lot of the post-production is done overseas, never mind some of the actual filming of the movies and things like that. So
it's changing today, or they gonna pay a half the price.
Yeah. And we'll see. And as far as what they're talking about, Alcatraz, it just seems like he's just trying to comb through everything and just find places to make sure that it's staying here on U.S. soil. And he is potentially trying to definitely save us money there with his claim to want to get people that have committed crimes and things like that out of the U.S. and potentially could be taking our different resources and services and aid from, causing us to lose money. But it's just one thing after another. He's really trying to comb through everything that he can think of in order to make sure to get us some money here in the U.S. through these tariffs and bringing jobs back to the U.S. But it's just everything. I wish that I'll put it like this. I wish that there was some effort put to, and this might not help everyone because if they did do something to impact the income tax first, and then all of this stuff came about next year, people probably would have become accustomed to the increase in their pay. And then when the increased prices came, they would still be hit hard with it. But I just wish that the increased prices weren't coming ahead of any improvement to my personal budget and finances in order to cover these potential increased costs, if you know what I'm saying, Miss V.
Well, one of the things that caught my attention on that thing was talking about the Alcatraz prison reopening, talking about he don't know about the Constitution, and that is one of my main concerns about what he's doing, because if you ignore the Constitution, that means one brain with a bunch of people, with a bunch of limbs, and that means king, and that means he could do whatever he want to do. So what I'm saying with this Alcatraz prison is that Americans is going to be getting deported over there. If you become a prisoner, he's going to start sending American prisoners over there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And possibly out of the country, everybody. That's one of my concerns.
Yeah, it seems clear to me that he wants to, no matter what the Constitution and what has been on, established for however long, he wants to make changes. I'm sure he wants to make changes to the rule that you can only be president for 2 terms. I've heard that he wants to a change to, if you're born in the U.S. to foreign parents, that you are not automatically a U.S. citizen. So it's just so many things. It's so many things.
Let's see who's in the chat. Welcome in, Joe. Oh, and thank you for being a member for 21 months, Lisa. I greatly appreciate you. I really do.
I didn't even know the months on it. I just clicked on the milestone.
Yep, it's a 21 months. And shout out to Joe. Look, she just did her members live thing on yours.
Oh, I see it popping up.
I think support Lisa.
That's from my side. Oh, thank you, Joe.
Yep. And then, okay, so Luther B said President Trump is the only one following the Constitution. For instance, he got delegates voted for him. Harris had all her delegates given her by Democrats. Now, see, I can't argue politics with you. But hey, I don't know. It don't seem like he's following the Constitution too much, because he said he don't know. And if he don't know, do he know if he's following it or not? I don't know.
Well, that's why he says he has, those lawyers, and he surrounds himself with these brilliant people
to do the job for him. And Tim says cable price looking good right now if streaming services hit 50 plus per service. How much is Netflix right now? Because I know they made a change where you can't share your account anymore. And I think Netflix used to be like $7.99. What y'all think it's gonna go up to? What is it now, and what do y'all think? What is it gonna go up to? I wonder. Do you have Netflix, Lisa?
I do, and I'm paying about $17.
$17 now?
Yeah.
Wow.
And of course, no one wants to take the plan with the commercials in it. I've talked about that too, of a way of trying to save money.
Heck no, man. Who wants a plan with commercials? How much do you save? Is that a family plan you got for 21? Because you can have it on per device, right? Like cell phone.
How many devices? I don't know offhand. I'm seeing that the standard plan with ads is $7.99 a month. So that would be back to the days of the pricing that you're remembering.
Oh my God.
But the premium ad free 4K HD plan is $24.99 per month.
Well, that's what Joe paid. Oh my God. Look at that. See, they found a way to get their money. They was like, okay, you can get the $7.99, but you're gonna get these ads. If you don't want them, wow. I knew it was something.
Yeah.
They'll be $50 soon, Tim.
So I'm in the plan that's in between. I'm in the $17.99 probably plus fees plan. So those are the 3 levels that I'm seeing.
I don't have anything. Oh, did we want to see the executive orders that he's filling out? Did you want me to pull up any charts or anything?
If you think it's relevant, we didn't really, go over it ahead of time.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just asking. I just wanted to make sure that you didn't have anything you wanted to pull up. I'm gonna put this back up, and we'll like pause and stop because he's signed a bunch of executive orders that I'm interested in finding out what's it about. So let's go to that.
To the White House, where we have President Trump.
If you want me to stop at least at any time, just let me know.
About executive orders at inside the Oval Office, and here we go. Let's listen in. I'm live now.
Well, thank you very much. We have some important signings today and some important statements to make about what we're doing in the world of medicine, with Bobby and the group. But maybe will do something which will be very enlightening, and I think people are going to like it. But it was a little gift that's being presented. So, Will, do you want to take over?
Yes, sir. So earlier today, the House of Representatives transmitted this over for you. This is a record of the Electoral College votes in the 2024 election. It shows your total of 312 votes. And the letter opener at the bottom of this frame display is actually one of the letter openers that was used to open the electoral votes during the counting.
That's great. How many votes did the other side get?
Less than you, sir. Significant.
By how much?
I don't want to get this wrong. It was 226.
Oh. But the news said it was going to be the other way around.
The news said it was going to be a lot
No,
closer.
they said that it was going to.
Shout out to you, TBZ, for being a member for 4 months. Shout out to you, Winner and Sleuth.
Be a lot closer than that. It wasn't close. So 312 to 226. That's pretty good. Okay, that's good. Thank you. I thank them for me. That's very nice.
Yes, sir. We'll tell the speaker. We have a number of executive orders for your attention today, sir. The first relates to gain of function research. Gain of function research is a type of biomedical research where pathogens are adulterated viruses or adulterated to make them more potent or to change the way that they function. Many people believe that gain of function research was one of the key causes of the COVID pandemic that struck us in the last decade. What this executive order does, first of all, it provides powerful new tools to enforce the ban on federal funding for gain of function research abroad. It also strengthens other oversight mechanisms related to that issue and creates an overarching strategy to ensure that biomedical research in general is being conducted safely and in a way that ultimately protects human health more.
It's a big deal. Could have been that we wouldn't have had the problem we had.
A lot of people say that, sir.
If we had this done earlier. Thank you. Okay, go ahead.
Many actions that you've taken so far in this administration, sir, are related to onshoring manufacturing and onshoring supply chains. One of the most important supply chain issues we currently face as a country is our pharmaceutical supply chain. This is an executive order intended to promote domestic manufacturing of pharmaceuticals. It streamlines the permitting processes that go into building domestic pharmaceutical manufacturing sites. It centers a lot of the environmental permitting process, which is quite significant within the EPA, and it takes other actions designed to ensure that we're bringing pharmaceutical jobs and pharmaceutical manufacturing back to the United States of America.
Okay, good.
Okay, let me see what everybody is saying. Joe says that this man is all about himself. He speaks about what makes him look good, not what he's doing for the people. Man. And then welcome in each one, teach one. Ron said, this is super crazy. These prices are out of hand. What you think so far, Lisa?
Well, pharmaceuticals, that's a huge concern right there.
Mhm.
That is somewhere where I don't want to see anyone's costs increase. It's already so drastic. I have health coverage, but the copays that I have to pay related to, say, an MRI or different preventative care that I have to do on a regular basis, in addition to the prescriptions, it is significant. So the last thing you need to think of is someone who has, diabetes or certain issues, and there's going to be an increase to their the cost of their medications because they're trying to now get it sourced from the U.S. Even this is more important to me of an issue than a cell phone, getting the cell phones produced here or the TVs or a car, but our medication.
Yes.
I hope that he allows the supply chain there not to be impacted so that the cost is not passed on to the consumers, because that's serious right there. You don't want people to not be taking their meds and their health declining because of cannot financially keep up with it. Yeah.
So high they can't afford it. Yeah. And I know that I heard that a lot of our medication was made in China. They trying to change that over, and they fighting more than anybody. So it's very scary.
Mm-hmm.
Very scary. Nothing. Eddie said, welcome in, Eddie. He said nothing Trump does is for himself. He won't benefit from anything he does except for his countrymen will be better off and appreciate him for what he's doing. So it's definitely a difference of opinion, and I definitely welcome difference of opinion. So I work in a medical field. I'm scared of our hospitals. Wow, CC.
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep going here.
That's what it's all about, right? Very important.
Oh, and DJ Ron said, can he read? Because he just acts like he's reading. I don't know, DJ Ron. I hope so.
We're going to have a big announcement next week on some of this kind of thing, but more related to costs, the costs of medicines and drugs, because we're being ripped off, as you know, very badly, being ripped off compared to the rest of the world. Go ahead.
Next, we have a series of proclamations for your attention, sir. This is a proclamation declaring National Mental Health Awareness Month. Mental health and that basket of issues has been a major priority for Secretary Kennedy since he got into office. It's been a major priority for your administration. This is just a proclamation declaring this month to be National Mental Health Awareness Month.
Okay. See, no auto pen. Isn't it nice? Isn't it nice to have a president that doesn't need an auto pen, so that somebody that you have no idea who the person is, who's actually the president of our country, they look into that auto pen stuff. That's not right, what took place for 4 years. Very important. Go ahead.
I was literally
Thank
just
you,
thinking
sir.
that.
Next, this is another proclamation declaring this week to be National Small Business Week. As you've said many times before, small business is actually big business. Small businesses are key drivers of the American economy. Your administration has taken quite dramatic steps to improve small business, to help small businesses. This is just a proclamation that recognizes those efforts and announces the National Small Business Week.
Good. And before I go further, I'd like to just, as you see behind me, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is doing a fantastic job. Director Jay Bhattacharya, National Institute of Health, and a very special person. I interviewed him personally. I liked him immediately. I interviewed a lot of people, but I liked him. Dr. Martin McCary, likewise, FDA commissioner, who's really in there plugging hard, right? But we have some big things coming up, and Will, everybody knows. So I just wanted to thank all of you. Vince Haley's around here someplace. Where's Vince? Vince is great. Come on up here, Vince. You should be up here. He's been with me for a long time. He's an expert on policy and speech writing, too, along with Ross, right? Yes, sir. So great. It's good to have you all. Bobby, do you have anything to say? We signed some very important documents having to do with health. Do you have anything to say?
Mr. President, a gain of function, this is an historic day, the end of gain of function research funding by the federal government, and also controls by private corporations on gain of function studies. This was a kind of study that was engaged.
You talking to me, Lisa?
No. Someone in the chat said they were dropping out. That's
Oh,
all.
okay. Cece said, "Oh my God, he's so horrible." Oh, I'm sorry, arrogant. He's so arrogant. Let me see, making sure I ain't missed nothing. Welcome in, young Riaz. Welcome in to everybody that I did not speak to. I'm sorry if I missed you. Y'all, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Smack that thumbs up and set your notification so you know every time I go live. This is just my second time doing a Trump topic over here. Well, I guess officially, because I did a couple before that. So welcome to my new channel.
Engaged in by the United States military and intelligence agencies beginning in 1947. By 1969, the CIA said that they had reached nuclear equivalency, that they could kill the entire U.S. population for 29 cents a person.
I agree.
That year, President Nixon went to Fort Detrick and announced a unilateral end to this kind of research, what they call dual-use research that was for vaccination and also for military purposes.
Big Rooster said this is the most arrogant administration in the history of the world. Welcome in, Big Rooster. He definitely have a strong opinion about politics and what is going on.
He then persuaded over 180 countries to sign the Bioweapons Charter in 1973. That basically ended gain of function research around the globe until 2002. Or 2001, after the anthrax attacks, we passed the Patriot Act, and the Patriot Act had a provision, a little-known provision in it, that said that although the Bioweapons Charter is still in effect, and the Geneva Convention is still in effect, U.S. federal officials who violate it cannot be prosecuted. And that relaunched a bioweapons arms race, and that was driven by gain of function research. In 2014, 3 of those bugs escaped from U.S. labs, and President Obama declared a moratorium on future use. And instead, a lot of that research was moved offshore to the Wuhan lab. It launched bioweapons arms race all around the country, all around the world, so that China's engaged in it, developing all kinds of weapons using AI and CRISPR technologies that are really devastating. Russia is deeply engaged in it, Iran and many other countries. It's a kind of weapon that always has blowback. There's always bad news. And the justification for this kind of weaponry was, and these kind of research was always that we have to do this, to develop vaccines to counter a future pandemic. In all of the history of gain of function research.
My bad, Big Rooster. He said ignorant, not arrogant. I guess I'm just saying the last word from before. Shout out to my BFF in the building. How you doing? They let you lift your head up today. Girl, what are these people doing to my BFF? Tim A, no one is innocent and no one is safe either. But Big Rooster said not arrogant, ignorant. So you want to say anything, Lisa, so far? Anything strike you?
I don't know what President Trump's feelings are about mental health and Mental Health Month, but I'll just talk about this. He's just signed something related to the Small Business Week.
Mm-hmm.
Small businesses, I know they have to be a whole lot more stressed than the big businesses like Costco. They're a major supplier. They have
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
They have they have contracted out to their suppliers that are going to fill up their Costco warehouses. And they have flat out said, I'm not taking any increase in costs. And they probably have such a long-term, established far out plan on, I am buying whatever product at whichever price set. in stone. And so Costco, a big name like that, they're going to be able to make it through this. Whereas a smaller retailer, they're immediately going to have to pass on the costs to us. And trying to shift their supply chains from China to another country, I don't know, Taiwan or somewhere else, it's not gonna be easy. And if everyone is trying to do that same thing at the same time, if you had a store, like I use an example 1 week about a beauty supply store, and pretty much her entire store, whether it's the wigs and the actual hair down to the chemical products, everything in her store was coming from China.
Mm-hmm.
So
Man,
when she is going to have to try to shift suppliers, all the other store owners are going to be doing the same. And so it's not going to be an easy, fast transition. And there's going to be someone that's going to be left out of the mix, and that's it. If the stores in my area are not able to improve their supply chain issues, then how am I going to be able to afford anything?
Well, one thing for sure, too, for certain, it's going to put small boutiques and businesses out of business. Like, for instance, we talking about the content creators. I mean, a lot of people at TikTok, they got shops and stuff like that. They're going to be drastically affected by that. And not to mention, just like Forever 21, I heard that they were closing. I don't know if they were already closing, but I was like, wait a minute, Forever 21, that they get their clothes from Shein and Temu. I didn't even know that. And that's around when I first heard, around the time that I did my video about it is when I started hearing that Forever 21 was closing. I don't know if it's all of them. Are you looking it up now?
Yes, I see that they're closing all 354 stores.
All of them?
They have filed for bankruptcy again. I guess they've gone through some types of bankruptcy in the past because they're using the word again here. Excuse me. So the company cited competition from Shein and Temu and rising costs and economic challenges.
Oh, wait, did they say Shein and Temu was their competition?
Yes, competition. But I think when the stores were open, you were able to do some type of returns. Well, I'm not sure what store was taking the returns inside of Forever 21. It might have been I can't think of it.
Yep, that's messed up.
But anyway, it says the last Forever 21 closed its doors on May 1st.
Oh my God! So they all closed.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez, I thought it was just happening. I guess I found out when it was already done.
Nope.
CC said I heard about it also. BFF says, wow, stop buying foreign supplies or stop crying. Listen, look, first of all, this is how America has always operated. Like, look on the back of your shirt. Where was it made? Please tell me Indigo. Also read basic economics. Yo, Lisa, you got a super sticker or super chat.
Thanks, Plus. I appreciate that. Jumpman, aka Jumpman.
Indigo, if you got a problem, do we need to block somebody in the chat? I don't know, because I am no stranger to that. You can have your opinion, but pipe down how you talking in my chat. Because it sounds like you being ignorant. I'm going to hit play and let the moderators determine that.
We can't point to a single good thing that's come from it. And today I commend President Trump for his courage and his vision in ending U.S. bioweapons research. And Jay, I'd love you to talk a little bit about it.
Yeah, Jay,
sure. This is a historic day. The conduct of this dangerous gain of function research, which aims at taking pathogens and making them more virulent, more transmissible in humans, many scientists believe is responsible for the COVID pandemic. The conduct of this research does not protect us against pandemics, as some people might say. It doesn't protect us against other nations. What it does is there's always a danger that in doing this research, it might leak out just by accident even, and cause a pandemic. Any nation that engages in this research endangers their own population as well as the world, as we saw during the COVID pandemic. This proclamation makes it so that
We don't really
most science is actually poses no threat to human populations. The vast majority of science will go on under this as normal. But the fraction of this research that has the risk of causing a pandemic, harming every single person on the face of the earth, we're going to put this proclamation, this executive order puts in place a framework to make sure that the public has a say, that if such a risk is being taken, that only science alone won't be able to decide that. That in fact, the public can say, no, don't take this risk. And I'm really, really proud to be here with President Trump, who signed this order, ending this research, and for the first time putting in place a real regulatory framework to make it go away forever.
So it can leak out like from Wuhan, and a lot of people think that. I think I said that right from day one. It leaked out whether it was to the girlfriend or somebody else, but scientists walked outside to have lunch with the girlfriend or was together with a lot of people. But that's how it leaked out, in my opinion, and I've never changed that opinion. So it can leak out innocently, stupidly, incompetently, but innocently, and half destroy the world. Right?
That's right. That's right, Mr. President.
Mr. President, there are, I think, 3 leaks on BSL-3 and BSL-4 labs, our highest rated laboratories almost every week. There's no laboratory that does this right. There's no laboratory that's immune from leaks, and this is going to prevent those kind of inadvertent leaks from happening in the future and endangering humanity. The COVID outbreak caused 20 million lives and caused.
We really don't want to talk about the vid. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go ahead and close that out. We'll get back to the chat. I'll see it need my attention. Wait, we all need to keep talking on both sides. Yes, exactly. Because somewhere in the middle, you get the truth. I'm all about listening at both sides because I'm not a politician, never been into politics, never followed it. But this administration, you better follow it or you won't know what's going on in the world at all because it's moving at lightning speed. What you think, Lisa?
Yes, I agree. I agree. And, you know, some of the things that they're talking about there,
Thank you, Steve.
We're never going to know who could have done better. And if with the, I'm just going to leave it alone. I'm just going to leave it alone with all the things about COVID and
the extra
getting
stuff.
yeah, I'm going to leave it alone.
That's why I'm like, man, I don't want to get into all that. Like, so plus I wanted to bring it back around for your side. And so bounce us back over there about the something, I don't know. Because I feel like we need to get back to the trading parts. Something on your end.
Well, we are coming up on our hour, but we talked about a lot of different things here, and it's just an overall concern with these tariffs and the reduced profits that these companies are going to have to take on. It's going to impact us, and so we just have to be ready for it. And there's nothing we can do now, but just try to be mindful of your budget, make cuts where you can, build up your emergency funds. If you haven't already, make strides to do as much as you can now, because we just don't want to be in that place where we're falling into credit card debt and just not able to keep our head above water while we're waiting for all of these things to shake out. And these costs start to get trickled down to us. We have to be ready to make it through until potentially, I don't know. I haven't heard anything really coming about, like I was mentioning at the top of the show, about a decrease to our income tax or different things like that, things that are going to increase our income. But I'm hearing so many different issues unrelated to the tariffs. Just in general, my electric bill is up 14%, and just different things like that. My car insurance has steadily been going up over the last couple of years, prior to this administration. But now with this, it's going, it's just who knows, everything that, we touch could be impacted. So.
Absolutely. And so did you want to, it's a lot of comments in the chat if we could.
Yeah, we can take a look at the comments for a little bit. Don't ignore your student loans. Definitely. That's another thing that I've been seeing in the headlines of people getting ready to be garnished with their student loans, as well as people getting evicted. So yeah, Trump is he is just cleaning house every which way you can think about it now, and there are more impactful and bigger things than us being concerned about the movies and our streaming services. You have to be mindful of these bills, and because if your pay is garnished to keep up with paying your student loans and these different things, that's serious. That is serious.
I thought we was coming up on student loan forgiveness. Ain't that's the last word I heard about student loans. I guess they did away with that. I'm being a little sarcastic, but I do remember hearing something about student loan forgiveness.
Well, I'm pulling up a headline here and it says Trump halts student loan relief. So yeah, he's taking it in a different direction, it seems. So yeah, I'm sure people are going to be seeing withholdings coming out of their check. And that, of course, you default on these things, and that's just going to overall impact your life and everything else that you're trying to do in the future. Buy a home, buy a car. It's just, you got to keep up with your bills. And so many people have fallen into a place where they're not keeping up with these things, and you can't, with rising costs already, it's not going to be any easier to say now keep up with paying your student loan. And people have tens of thousands, even over 100,000 in student loans in some cases. So it's very significant. It's something that I'm.
Oh, my bad. It's me coming over here to handle some. Go ahead.
No, that's all. That's all. Read your Tim is saying, read your documents carefully. You should have done that when you got into it, and you should have been keeping up with paying it. And now, if you haven't, I know people are going to be in a tough place with that.
Yeah, I think college is too high. So they should be forgiven. That's just my opinion.
It is. But also, I think a lot of young people don't try to keep the cost down initially, maybe by going to a community college and then transferring. Parents are not prioritizing trying to save from birth, invest from birth on behalf of their children in order to help to ease these costs. But, everyone's financial situation is different, and I totally understand that. And I don't encourage anyone to put that as a priority above their own retirement. But we spend so much money on other things like the weddings and these, gender reveals this time of year, so much with, school dances and graduations and all of that. So we just have to prioritize what matters.
So somebody said the last administration was moving at lightning speed also. The difference is no one knew what was happening until it was burning you. Well, yeah, this administration definitely is televising everything. And BFF said we are all adults in here. We can agree to disagree. Yeah, or you can get blocked and thrown into the funky block party. Which is what ultimately happened. But I guess it's about that time. I guess it's about that time. She gave you a chance. Right, exactly. Like, come on. I don't like disruptive people that gaslight the whole chat and want all the attention. Like, it's not about you. We trying to figure out what's going on in the world, and you, sir or ma'am, is part of the damn problem. So anyway, any closing words, Lisa? I think I just said mine.
No, great discussion. Thanks for sharing all of that information. And thanks for having me on and dual streaming with me today. And I think that it was an interesting show, and it just, highlights everything that we're facing, big and small, like I said, more serious issues, but it's all going to impact us, whether it's our streaming services, our medications. We have to just be ready for it all.
Scrambled eggs.
Eggs, nearly 50 cents an egg. Yes.
Oh my God.
It all matters. And, this is why don't overlook the opportunity. I know we have a lot going on with these rising costs, but don't overlook the opportunity to invest, especially when the market is beaten down. Like with, for example, quality companies, you have to make that choice for yourself. But today in our show, we touched on Netflix, and in time when it's impacted on a day and it's down 4% or even more, those are the times that we have to have the forward-thinking vision of the potential of where it could be in the future, and just keep on building up our portfolios. So
and I also want to say, no matter what happens in this world, I mean, we just got to keep thriving and doing what we know to do and what we've been doing, and don't get taken over by what's happening. I mean, we got to keep going, and we just got to pay attention and cut costs as much as you can on unnecessary stuff, And so I want to read this comment before we leave. Lisa, if you watch Berkshire Hathaway annual meeting in assembly, Warren Buffett were meeting answer questions.
I see. I just put something in the chat that I see you, the one.
Okay.
Yes.
You see this one too? Wait, Slow Joe allowed 12 million unvetted. Oh my God! Look, this is ongoing.
Yeah, it's just one thing after another. I'm seeing that what I mentioned about evictions. I'm seeing articles here that 60,000 could risk eviction due to the elimination of emergency housing vouchers.
Oh my God. Really?
Trump is just, like I said,
I'm gonna look into that.
Just trying to clean house with so many different things.
Can you send me that article?
Okay, I will.
All right, guys, we're going to get up out of here. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Please make sure you hit the like button on both sides and press all notifications so you know next time we go live. And I will see y'all in the next video. Hold on, I'm not even in the right spot. But peace and love, y'all. We out. Thank you for dropping that fire and horns, BFF. Thank you, Big Rooster. Thank y'all for tuning in. MTGBLLC. Make this go viral. Make this go viral. Make this go higher. 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 Burn this on fire. Peace and love, y'all. We out.